Hey team, just finished a men's group call and had a fantastic conversation with some wonderful men who are now consistently showing up, already our second call, which is super exciting. And so I was just feeling in the mood to come on here and do some Q&A. So I'm just popping on to answer some questions for people, give people the chance to share. This is really the whole intention of doing this work, is that people get to not deal with what they're dealing with, either one, alone, or two, that it's got to be so difficult. So feel free to write any questions you have in the chat. I'll be staying on here for about 10 minutes or so, answering some questions. Who wants to kick us off? Hey man. Feel free to say hello, where you're from. We can engage with each other. Oh, my wife's texting me right now, probably saying, hey, get off that live, come down for breakfast. How do you heal rejection sensitivity? Well, that could be a multiple part question. How do you heal rejection? Could be one. Sensitivity, I don't know if that's something to heal. Being sensitive is really beautiful, and it often means that you can experience many feelings that other people who are less sensitive can't. Welcome from Japan, by the way. Hi from Vancouver. I'm from Vancouver. And so, how do you heal from rejection? Well, actually, we just had a conversation about this in our men's group of someone who's experiencing a breakup right now. And mainly the topic of this conversation is something I've been sharing about more lately, which is whatever emotion we're scared to feel will have power over us. And so if we're scared to feel sad, if we're scared to feel hurt, that thing is going to be like this monster in our closet that we're avoiding. It's going to keep having power over our experience. And so I really encourage you to feel what there is to feel, while distinguishing, while separating that just because there was rejection or a breakup doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. That's the part where we feel a lot more pain, is we associate rejection with there's something wrong with me, rather than just a choice was made. Either a choice was made to be with me or not to be with me. And if you're feeling hurt by that, that's a beautiful thing, because it means you care about something. And what we were talking about in our men's group is, just because you feel hurt, don't lose the big, beautiful love that you have for something. That love is necessary. It's important. It matters. And so feel this pain, feel this hurt, well, relating it to there's something that really matters to me. And that's a beautiful thing not to lose. So thank you for that question. How do I let go of feelings for X? Similar conversation, except for if we still have really strong feelings for our ex, often we're in the what if conversation. What if I did this? What if I did that? What if something happened differently? Could we have worked it out? Whenever we go into that, we've separated ourselves from reality. Because something happened. You broke up for a reason. And a lot of people get back together without dealing with that reason, which inevitably means they're going to have likely the same relationship they had before, with the same problems. And so having feelings for your ex is understandable. You have a deep connection with someone. You've shared a lot of things together. It's totally understandable. What I invite you to get present to is the reason you broke up in the first place. What I get present to is what actually happened. Now that takes work. I'm giving you a short answer of something I do a whole program with people on. It's going to take you recognizing the distinction that you're allowed to have feelings for them, while also recognizing that something didn't work in that relationship. That both things can be true. So that's where I invite you to start from. Scrolling. How do you stay independent of the mood of your partner? Oh, I love that question. How do you stay independent of the mood of your partner? So like, if they're in a bad mood or they're hurting or they're upset, how do you stay in a place where you don't also fall into that same mood? I love that question, because me and my wife can relate to that. So part of that is, I believe, having a really clear structure of what works for you on your own. So like, I'm sitting in here right now talking in my office. This is my quiet place, okay? I find peace here. It gives me solace in challenging circumstances. One of the most obvious times that our moods are off, me and my wife, is typically just because one of us is hungry. And so one of the first things we ask each other if we're off is when's the last time you ate? And let's solve that problem. So that could be something else. But staying independent of your mood partner is really a great thing to do here, where you can check in with each other. Brene Brown actually talked about this, where you actually ask each other, like, what degree are you available? What percentage are you at right now? And where it's, honestly, I'm at 15%. I had a brutal day. I'm stressed. I'm tired. Okay, got it. What do you need? Maybe they need some space. Maybe they need some water. Maybe they need something to eat. Whatever it is. Okay, then you get to see whether you can accommodate that or not. Maybe you can't. It's like, okay, I'll give you that just so you know I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go be over here. Let's have this work for both of us. What's going to have your mood help? I don't want us to come down to that mood also. So that's a skill. That's an art. And this is where I so believe relationships are built. They're created. They're not found. You don't just find that because you're going to have moods. You're a human being. So I love that question. Takeaway. All right, when's the last time you ate? And being able to have certain activities or structures that you both can go to when you're in a state that's ineffective. Best healing advice: get out of your head, have a structure, be with people, don't get under someone else just to get over somebody. Promise you that's not going to work. It's just going to numb the feeling you're scared to have. All of it often comes back to there's a feeling that I'm scared of. And here's the thing, you guys, I was saying this in the men's group. The pain that we're experiencing, whenever we're like, oh, this is so brutal, the pain isn't brutal. It's the idea that the pain's not going to change. We are all capable of feeling all different kinds of hurt and pain. That's not the part that's scary. What we get hooked on, or what we get like kind of just brutal about, is the idea that I'm stuck here. And the more we resist an emotion, a feeling, the more we stay stuck there. You know, maybe you've heard the term, what you resist persists. And so whenever you're in a place where you're feeling really stuck, where you're feeling a lot of pain, where you're not healing, I invite you to ask the question, what am I avoiding right now? What am I resisting? And then see what I'm resisting, what of that can I allow right now? What can I allow? And of course, I believe meditation is the access to us being superhuman, so I might add a bit of that in there. Hello from Amsterdam, Florence. Love that you guys are sharing where you guys are messaging from. By the way, I'm going to start doing some more lives at different times, because I know there's more of a European following now, and before it was more North America, so I'm going to try to get more of both. Also, because of that, I've opened up my first ever European program. It's going to happen in 4 weeks, so if you want a spot in that, apply for a discovery call to find out how you can sign up. Very excited about that. Next question. If your partner can't be vulnerable, can you ever have a true relationship? So I have a problem with the question. Your partner can be vulnerable. There's no one that can't be vulnerable. They might be unwilling to be vulnerable to the degree that you are, Sarah, but consider, and this is something I've worked to bring up more clearly in my content, vulnerability operates on a relative scale. For me, it is not very vulnerable to stand in front of a stage and talk to 10,000 people. I can do that. 10 years ago, I would have been pissing myself. Now, if someone who'd never done public speaking before hops on stage, that might be the biggest vulnerable thing they've ever done, because it's relative to their experience. So consider, I invite you to look, what is vulnerable to your partner? What degree equals vulnerability to them? And is that okay for you? Does that work for you? Okay? Because part of having what you say a true relationship, and what I think you really mean is a connected, loving relationship, is understanding the different spaces that people are coming from. You know, I'm a relationship coach. My wife is not. My wife is highly intelligent in a lot of ways that I'm not. And for me to pretend that there's certain things I share that should just be expected on her end is not effective, because I'm operating through my lens of what equals vulnerability. And so I invite you to ask the question of your partner, what does vulnerability look like for them? That would be my invitation. Thank you for that question. How do you know if you're ready to start a healthy relationship and start looking? And how should you start looking? So how do you know if you're ready? Well, if you have a desire to be in a relationship or to connect with people, and it's not coming from running from a feeling. Okay, so what I mean by that is, do I want to be in a relationship because I'm scared to be alone, or I really don't like feeling this way right now, or I'm thinking about my ex, then that is not a good time to start looking for a relationship. If you're feeling called to it and it comes from a place of adding to your life, then you are there. Let's go. Let's go attract that relationship. How should you start looking? I would focus on how you want to be as a partner. So a lot of us are really great at making the list of all the things. They should be like this and they should be like that. It's like, okay, great. What does that person want? Oh, they want an adventurous, loving, courageous person. Okay, I'm going to go to work on being adventurous, loving, and courageous. But I'm making those up, but whatever works for you. So that would be the momentum Kickstarter. All right, I'm going to do 2 more, and then I got to go. Got to go make sure my wife is hydrated. Do you believe it's possible for the relationship to work in the future if it's the wrong time for now or for him? He's going through divorce. Honestly, wasn't ready for a relationship, but amazing mutual connection. Oh man, we've got 2 of those in the men's group right now. Just like that. Yeah, so I don't believe in like right person, wrong time, because the time matters. I would notice what you're attached to right here. Because if you're going to wait for this person to work through their shit or to get properly divorced, just get really clear about what the boundaries are for you. I'm also noticing, I don't want to call it an epidemic, but a pattern of people dating someone who's not fully divorced. If they're not divorced, they're not available to be in a relationship. That to me is just a matter of integrity. If you're married to someone, even if you're separated, you're still married to them. They hold a greater level of connection responsibility than you ever will until they get divorced. That's my personal opinion, and I wouldn't date anybody who isn't completely divorced. I might, get some clear boundaries about it. I might go, hey, okay, by this time, then we can enter a certain relationship, but there's got to be this level of progress in that. That's where I might look, is what the boundaries are for you. Hi from Paris. Thank you for joining from Paris. Okay, last question. Maybe my favorite one so far. Iris, how can I attract the one for me without looking for it, having and knowing it'll come to me? All right, well, right there you're talking about manifestation. You're talking about attraction. Love that. I think it's in my bio. I can't even remember. How to attract the relationship in life that you want. You don't go find it. You don't make it happen. You don't work super hard to have it happen. That's not going to work. You know how I know? Because you've probably been doing that for a long time and it still hasn't worked. Okay? So it's also more fun to just attract. It's just better. Feels better. So how do you do that? Well, the very first thing I do in my program is I have people write out what they want in their life. So I invite you to write out. Spend a few minutes. Write out how you want to be in a relationship, how you want that partner to be, how you want to feel, what kind of connection you have, what kind of things you do together, just how you would picture it, okay? Then below that, write out, if I had that future, and write it in present tense, by the way, very important, write it as if it's already happened. Right below that, write out what kind of person, what version of me, would get to be with that kind of person. And the way you want to write that out is, I would be being, so you want to phrase it like that. I would be being loving. I would be being attractive. I would be being fun. I'd be being whatever the key things are that you think are a match. Likely vulnerability and courage are going to be part of that too. And then your work is to go be that. Now, I'm saying this again. I'm answering these questions quickly and off the cuff here. I have a whole program called Love Over Fear. It's a 14-week program where I coach people on exactly what you're talking about. So that would be the Kickstarter. If you want to amplify that and have it move so much faster and be a lot of fun, sign up for a discovery call through the link in my bio. And you can talk with a member of my team to find out which program I offer is a fit for you. So sending you love, you guys. Thank you so much for all the great questions. And bye from all over the world, Australia, Paris, Vancouver. Oh, it's so cool. Amsterdam. So cool, you guys. Just beautiful, beautiful to have you on here and ask these questions. I'll be doing this more and more, so I'm really excited to see your questions, and I hope I get to more of them next time. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are, and with what all you're dealing with. Bye.